Hello everyone, welcome back to the Commander's Garage, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Aura of Courage deck from the new D&D inspired set Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. To get started with, we have G'lai, Kindler of Hope, for a single colorless mana, green, white, blue. You get a 4/4 legendary Elf Knight with Vigilance, and you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast aura or equipment spells from the top of your library. When you cast equipment spells, they gain when this equipment enters the battlefield. Attach it to target creature you control. So this is going to be a Voltron-style deck. Start off the creatures. We have Saram, Senior Artificer. For 1 and a white, you get a 2/2 Dwarf Advisor with whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. Fleecemane Line, for a green and a white, you get a 3/3 cat, and it has 3 green white monstrosity 1. If this creature isn't monstrous, put a 1/1 counter on it. As long as it is monstrous, it is hexproof and indestructible. Pure Steel Paladin, for white, you get a 2/2 Human Knight. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Metalcraft, which is if you have 3 or more artifacts, the equipment you control have equip 0. Then we have Catti-brie of Mithril Hall. For a green and white, you get a 2/2 Human Archer, legendary, with first strike and reach. Whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it for each equipment creature attached to it. Then you can pay 1, or remove all 1/1 counters from her, and it deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature an opponent controls, where X is the number of counters removed this way. Paradise Druid, for 1 and a green, you get a 2/1 Elf Druid that has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and you can tap it for 1 mana of any color. Cold-Eyed Selkie, for a green, and either a green and a blue, or a green and a blue. You get a 1/1 Merfolk Rogue with Island Walk. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. Knight of Autumn, for 1, a green and a white, you get a 2/1 Dryad Knight. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1. Put 2 1/1 counters on it, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or gain 4 life. Angel of Finality, for 3 and a white, you get a 3/4 Flying Angel. When it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Clay Golem, for 4, you get a 4/4 Golem with 6, roll a d8, monstrosity X, where X is the result. And then whenever it becomes monstrous, destroy target permanent. Riverwise Augur, 3 and a blue, you get a 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, and then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library. Frey's Steed, for 2 and 2 white, you get a 4/4 Elk. Whenever it attacks, another target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. When a creature, planeswalker you control, becomes the target of a spell or ability your opponent controls, you may draw a card. Acidic Slime, for 3 and green, you get a 2/2 Ooze with Death Touch. Enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Prognostic Sphinx, for 3 blue, you get a 3/5 Flying Sphinx with discard a card. It gains hexproof, and tap it. Whenever it attacks, scry 3. Then there is Storvald, Frost Giant Jarl. 4 green, white, blue, for a 7/7 giant with ward 3. Other creatures you control have ward 3. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 1 or both. Target creature has base power and toughness 7/7, or target creature has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. Realm Cloaked Giant, for 5 and 2 white, you get a giant with a 7/7 giant with Vigilance, or you can play Cast Off its sorcery side for 3 white, and destroy all non-giant creatures. Up next we have our instances. We have Diviner's Prompted, for X blue, you get an instant. Roll a d20, add the number of cards in your hand to the result. 1 through 14, draw X cards. 15 plus, scry X, then draw X. Brainstorm, for 1, draw 3 cards, put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Ride the Avalanche, green and blue. The next spell you cast this turn can be cast as though it had flash. When you cast your next spell, put X +1/+1 counters on up to one target creature where X is the mana value of that spell. Song of Inspiration, 3 green. Choose up to 2 permanent cards in your graveyard. Roll a d20. Add the total mana value of those cards, 1 through 14. Return them to your hand. 15 plus. Return those cards to your hand and gain life equal to their total mana value. Valorous Stance, 1 and a white. Choose one. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or you destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Bant Charm, green, white, blue. Choose one. Destroy target artifact. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library, or counter target instant spell. And the last of our instants is Heroic Intervention, 1 and a green. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. We have a couple sorceries. One being Valiant Endeavor for 4 white. Roll 2 d6s, choose one result. Destroy each creature with power greater than or equal to that result, and then create a number of 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance equal to the other result. Winds of Wrath, 3 white. Destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They cannot be regenerated. Serum Visions, for a single blue, draw a card, then scry 2. The Nature's Lore, 1 and a green. Search your library for a forest card, put that card onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. Up next is our enchantments. This deck is an enchantment-focused deck, so there's going to be quite a few. Mantle of the Ancients, 3 white. When it enters the battlefield, return any number of target aura or equipment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to enchanted creature. The enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Garrus Boon, for a single white. It gets +1 and +1/+0 and gains flying. Then you can pay 3 and a white and return it from your graveyard attached to target creature. Activate this ability only as a sorcery. Shielding Plaques, 2 in either a green or a blue. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. This is hexproof, but it is not hexproof, so Arcane Lighthouse cannot make this null and void. Rancor, for a single green. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. When Rancor is put in the graveyard, return it from the graveyard to its owner's hand. Eel Umbra, for 1 and a blue. It's flash. It's +1/+1 and totem armor. If enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aurora instead. Abundant Growth, for a single green. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted land has tap, add 1 mana of any color. Imprisoned on the Moon, for 2 and a blue. Enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap, add colorless, and it loses all other card types and abilities. Angelic Gift, 1 and white. Enchant creature. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature gains flying. Fertile Ground, for 1 and a green. Enchant land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds a mana of any color. Utopia Sprawl, for a single green. Enchanted forest. You choose a color. When Enchanted Forest is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of the chosen color. Curse of Verbosity, 2 and a blue. Enchant player. When an enchanted player is attacked, you draw a card. Each opponent attacking the player does the same. Wild Growth, for a single green. Whenever enchanted land is tapped, its controller adds an additional green. Verdant Embrace, 3 green enchant creature. It gets +3/+3, and at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green Saproling creature token. Psychic Impetus, 2 and a blue. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded, and whenever that enchanted creature attacks, you scry 2. Kenrith's Transformation, 1 and a green. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature becomes an elk. Greater Good, 2 green, sack creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, and then discard 3 cards. And then there's Nethys Puzzle Ward, for 3 and a blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, roll a d4, scry X, where X is the result. Whenever you roll a die's natural highest result, draw a card. Up next is the equipment portion of this deck. To start things off, we have Moonsliver Spear, for 4. You get a equipment that gives equipped creature first strike. Whenever it attacks, you create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying, equipped for 4. Then you have Masterwork of Ingenuity. You pay 1, and there's the battle. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any equipment on the battlefield. Behemoth Sledge for 1 green white. A creature gets +2/+2 and has trample and lifelink. It equips for 3. Then we have Holy Avenger. For 2 and a white, equipped creature has double strike, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, you may put an aura card from your hand onto the battlefield attached to it. It equips for 2 and a white. Up next is Sword of the Animist. For 2, equipped creature gets +1/+1. When it attacks, search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. It equips for 2. Explore Scope. For 1, when it attacks, or when equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it on the battlefield tapped. It equips for 1. Swiftfoot Boots. 2, equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Equips for 1. Colossus Hammer. Cast for 1. Equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, but you have to pay 8 to equip it. Sword of Hours. For 2, whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When a creature deals combat damage, roll a d12. If the result is greater than the damage dealt, or the result is a natural 12, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature, or on that creature. Equips for 2. Robe of the Stars, or Robe of Stars. 1 and white. Equipped creature gets +0/+3, and then for 1 and a white, equipped creature phases out. You equip for 1. Viridian Longbow. Cast it for 1. Equipped creature has tap. Target creature deals 1 damage to any target. Equips for 3. Winged Boots. For 1 and a blue, equipped creature has flying and ward 4. Equips for 1. Belt of Giant Strength. 1 and a green, equipped creature has base power and toughness 10/10. It equips for 10, but it costs X less, where X is the current power of the creature that it targets. Basilisk Collar. For 1, you get equipped creature gets Death Touch and Lifelink. Equips for 2. Argentarian Armor. For 6, equipped creature gets +6/+6, and whenever it attacks, destroy target permanent. Except equips for 6. Then we have Obligatory Soul Ring, the Arcane Signet, which taps for 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. And then we have Ebony Fly. It either taps for a colorless, or you pay 4, roll a d6, and it becomes a XX insect, where X is the result. And whenever it attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Up next is the non-basic lands. We have Grassland. There's Battlefield tapped. You tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a forest or plains card, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle. Floodplain is the same, but except for it is for plains and or island. Then you have Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds, which both do the same thing. You tap them, sacrifice them, and search your library for any basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Then we have Bant Panorama, taps for a colorless, or you can tap it, pay 1, tap it, sack it, search for a basic forest, plains, or island card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Lumbering Falls is one of the animation lands, where you can pay mana into it to make it into, in this case, it's a 3/3 green and blue elemental creature with hexproof. Prairie Stream enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Canopy Vista does the same except for taps for green or white. Then we have Sungrass Prairie, which you pay 1 into, tap it, add a green and white. Path of Ancestries, you choose a color, or when it enters the battlefield, it's tapped. Then you add 1 mana of any color, or your commander's color identity, and when a mana is spent to cast a creature type that shares a creature, when its spell is cast with the mana, and it's a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, you scry 1. Thriving Heath taps for either white or 1 color of your choice that you choose whenever you put this land in play. The Simic and the Azorius bounce lands. Fortified Village, you have to reveal a forest or plains. If not, it enters tapped. Thriving Grove, it taps for either green or the chosen color, like the other Thriving. Same with the island, except for it taps for blue or the other chosen color. Port Town enters tapped unless you reveal a plains or an island. Sky Cloud Expanse, You pay 1 into it, and you add a white and a blue. Exotic Orchard allows you to tap for any mana, any color that your opponent's lands can produce. Command Tower. The Seaside Citadel, which is essentially Command Tower for this deck. Howlmore Depths. Enters a battlefield. You look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. Taps for blue. Marsh's Factory. You can either tap it for 1 mana, or you can pay 1 mana, make it a 2/2 Assembly Worker creature token, or Assembly Worker artifact creature until the end of the turn, or target Assembly Worker creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. The last of the non-basic lands is Veto, Ghast the City Tree, taps for colorless, or you can pay 2, a green and a white, to create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. And to round everything out, we have 2 plains, 4 islands, and then 8 forests. Alright guys, thank you for watching this. Sorry about the coughing. I've been recording videos since about 3 hours ago, so it's been 3 hours of my voice straight. Thank you guys for putting up with me, and I'll talk to you later.